It's time to bust out your air fryer because I've got the best air fryer steak bites. Yes, you can make amazing steak in your air fryer. Hi, I'm Carrie with eatingonadiet.com, and we're on a mission to help families eat well on a budget. And you can have steak at home on a budget. Steak at home is way cheaper than eating out, and you don't have to be a professional to make delicious steak. And today's recipe is going to prove just that. It's steak bites. So it's simple, it's easy, it's affordable. You're only going to need like 4 ingredients and an air fryer. So if you love your air fryer, friends, I'm going to have today's recipe linked below in the description, but also our air fryer digital cookbook, friends. It's on sale right now, and it has a ton of air fryer recipes that you can make all year long. We love using it in the summer months when it's warmer outside, but honestly, I use this thing way more than I want to admit because we're obsessed with it, and we have a ton of air fryer recipes for you. And first thing you gotta do is preheat your air fryer. Now, everything I'm gonna use today, including my favorite air fryer, is linked below for you. I'm loving this one. It's from Walmart, very inexpensive. I've used it so much. I've even broke the little handle there, but it still works. We're a fan. Now, this air fryer does not have a preheat button. So if yours doesn't have a preheat button, that's completely okay. All you're gonna do is set it to 400 degrees, and you're gonna let it cook for about 5 minutes, and that will preheat it. Think about preheating your oven before you bake a cake. You wanna get it nice and hot. That's what we're doing for the air fryer. We're just gonna let it cook while we get the steak bites ready. Now you need steak. We're just going to use a lean steak, and honestly, I don't care what kind of steak you use. Anything will be delicious. Now, steak bites is not your gourmet steak, so don't waste your money on super expensive steak. Just get some steak that's on sale and that is pretty lean, because this is gonna cook up really, really fast. What we're gonna wanna do is grab the steak, and we're gonna cut this. I'm gonna get rid of some of this fat and cut it off, but also we're going to cut this into 1-inch pieces to make steak bites. Now you're probably asking, can I use stew meat? You can, but it's not gonna be as good. Stew meat is just tougher, and if you want that tender, tasty air fryer steak flavor, well, you don't know what it tastes like because you haven't made it yet, but it's gonna be good. I recommend getting the steak and then actually cutting it up yourself. We're gonna trim off the fat, and into 1-inch pieces we go. Now, when I say 1-inch pieces, don't freak out about the inch. Think of, can I take this whole piece and bite it? We want bite-sized pieces on the steak, so you can make them as big or as small as you want. If they are bigger, they're going to cook longer, and if they're smaller, they're going to cook faster. Now that the steak is all cut up, we're going to place it in a bowl, and we're going to marinate it. Marinate it means we're just going to season it, and we're going to let it sit at room temperature. Anytime you cook a steak, I think it's really important to cook it room temperature, keeping it at room temperature before you cook it. Sorry, the words are jumbled today, but that just helps your steak be extra juicy and delicious. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of olive oil or avocado oil. Those are my two favorite, but honestly, any oils will work. Then we're going to add a teaspoon of steak seasoning. I will also include a link to my favorite seasoning jars. You guys know I've been using these for a while, and I'm obsessed. We're gonna add 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. You can mince your own if you like. Then we want a 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder. And if you would like, you can do a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, but you can leave that out if you want to. I did want to mention that we're using a store-bought steak seasoning, but if you can't find that in your area, we actually have a delicious homemade steak seasoning that you can make and keep in a drawer, and I'll include that link below. Then we just gotta coat it all. I'm just gonna go ahead and get my hands in and get that all over the steak. See how everything is nice and coated in the seasoning, because it adds a lot of flavor. You want every bite coated. Now you just need to let this sit for room temperature. It's marinating, it's seasoning, and you just want those steak bites to make sure they're at room temperature. I feel like I've said it multiple times, but I just want to make sure you understand that it's just a little thing that you can do. So don't let it marinate in the fridge. But even if your steak was at room temperature before you did it, you can go ahead and go straight to your air fryer. Now we're just going to place these steak bites right inside the air fryer. While those steak bites are cooking, I highly recommend you have a digital meat thermometer, not the old school kinds that your grandmas used that were hard to read. These are amazing and very inexpensive. You can get them on Amazon. What's so great about it is you just insert this point into the meat and it tells you what the temperature is on the inside. And it even has this little cheat sheet that tells you if you want it medium, medium rare, if you want it well, if you want it rare. It tells you exactly. So we're gonna let this cook for 3 to 4 minutes. And then we're gonna flip it and cook it another 3 to 4 minutes, depending on how done you'd like it. So at the 3-minute mark, we're gonna go ahead and test it and see how we like it, and then cook it up until it's ready to the temperature that you want for your steak bites. I personally like my steak bites about medium to medium rare because sometimes they can be a little tougher. I agree, Rosie. Everybody say hi to Rosie. I wanted to show you what it looks like. Then we're going to just poke this right into the middle of one of the fatter pieces, and it's reading 122 to 123, and we want to get up to 135 degrees if we want medium rare. So I am going to grab my tongs, flip these around and move them a little bit, and pop it back into the air fryer. And cook them for another 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, now we're gonna test it again. It's been cooking for about 3 minutes, and we're gonna check the internal, and it's reading about 150. So if you want the medium, so that's like more like medium. If you want more of a medium rare, then just throw it in there for maybe 2 minutes and then check it instead of waiting for the 3 to 4 minutes, okay? That's it, guys. We have beautiful steak bites that are gonna taste amazing. There's juice in the bottom of it if you want to drizzle some juice on top, but look. It's delicious, and I have a teenager who does not want to be on camera today, but he is waiting to dig into these, and I'm super pumped about it. Look how good they look. I'm so excited to try. Now it's time for my favorite part. Oh, there's a pesky fly in here. My favorite part is eating it. Okay, let's dig in. I'm a fan. Now all you need is an air fryer, friends, and a couple ingredients to make this super easy recipe. Remember, I have dogs fighting at my feet, so everybody say hi to Rosie, Rio, and Samson. It's the Doodle crew. We'll show you a video at the end, so stay tuned. But I wanted to let you know that the full recipe is linked below as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't want you to miss any more of our family-friendly recipes, and also the air fryer cookbook that's on sale. The digital cookbook that's on sale is linked as well for you guys. So everything you need you can find in the description, but hopefully just by watching this video you are able to make this recipe, and it's super simple. I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard to concentrate because of these dogs, but you guys know me, it's real life here, and we include our dogs in everything because they are our babies too. Now before we go, I wanted to give you some side ideas, and if you go to the full recipe, we actually have several side dish ideas for you. Now in our cookbook and on Eat on a Dime, we have several air fryer sides. So from like roasted potatoes to green beans to asparagus, the air fryer can make everything. And so here's one of my tips. While you're marinating that steak and letting it come to room temperature, go ahead and cook your sides in the air fryer. And once they're finished, dump them out and then put your steak in and cook your steak. And that's how you'll get in one pot meal with one thing to wash, which guess what? This is dishwasher safe, and your steak is hot and fresh. So even if your air fryer potatoes have been sitting out for a little bit, they're still nice and tasty and delicious. Okay, friends, I'm out of here. I've got some steak to eat. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope I inspired you that you can make even steak in your air fryer, and it doesn't have to cost you a fortune. I will see you. I got some puppies over here who are wanting a nibble. I will see you next time in my kitchen for another family-friendly recipe that doesn't take all day to cook. I'll see you next time. Bye, friends.